Sane Sunday Live. We're always happy to see you here every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that would be 4:30 p.m. California time. Now, before we get into the trivia questions, we would like to support all our people that are out there supporting the children and the veterans charities by shouting out their calendar of events and hopefully driving some more traffic to the car shows and cruise-ins that support those children's and veterans charities. We'd like to help them out as much as we can. We also want to help out everybody in the hashtag Insane Friends community and help them out by shouting out their lives. And since they are helping support our marathon of our hashtag Insane Friends Marathon of Lives every week and making it possible to have somebody live almost every night of the week. Now, there are 10 channels involved in that in 9 different cities on 2 different continents. Now, right now, Chopper's Rule 1 is trying to decide on a new time on a new day. So we are kind of up in the air on that. But in the meantime, we have, of course, you're right here. It's Sunday, so it's 7:30, and you're right here on SaneAuto. And right after us is Gregory Salvatore at 9 p.m. Monday night is Etard Adventures at 9 p.m. Then Bubbzification on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Wednesday night, we are on the Sane Enterprises channel. It's us, but we're on the Sane Enterprises channel because we talk about other things other than automotive over there that we do not do on this channel. Things like making money and growing your channel, making money on the internet and off the internet, sales, management, all that kind of stuff. Wednesday night also, Muscle Car Appraisal at 9 p.m. When they don't have a live, they do have a premiere of a video, and they do have a lot of good automotive trivia and stuff like on the muscle cars and stuff like that. Dorito and Luchacabre is on Thursday night at around 9:30. That's Eastern Standard Time. They are in California, so their time it's more like 6 o'clock. Followed by Easy 2 Tips and Tricks, etc., etc. Also in California at 7 o'clock, which is about 10:30 our time, Eastern Standard Time. Then Saturday, we are going to find out when Chopper's Rule 1 is moving to. He's going to have a different time other than 6:30 p.m. Followed by Fab Automotive Detailing, which I saw a lot of you guys in there last night at 9 p.m. on Saturday nights. And then you're right back here with Sane Sunday Live at 7:30 p.m. every Sunday night. Tim Bearden, the third Sunday at 4:30. Tim Bearden is on. And let's see here. The 55 Chevy Nomad is this month's calendar car. And we have, is this the 14th? We have already had the Veterans with PTSD Benefit Car Show. That was yesterday. And then that is the only Veterans one we know about, other than on the second Saturday of every month is the Veterans Cruise in Cleveland, Tennessee. I don't know why my brain's not working that good right now. I'm sorry, I haven't shouted out everybody in the chat yet, but I'm trying to wrap up the announcement so we can get to the NASCAR trivia. Lots of cool NASCAR trivia today from 1984 to 1994. NASCAR is what we're going to be hitting. Now, the very first Saturday in August, we are going to be the king and the queen of the car scene. She's in there cooking some wonderful dinner for me right now. I apologize for her not being here. I know you guys want to see the queen of the car scene. She's a lot more entertaining than I am, but hey, I'll do my best to keep you all entertained. Cruising Chatsworth Car Show, the first Saturday of August. We will physically be there with our booth. with the Fonzie bikes. I don't know. It doesn't look so good about getting the Mach 1 out right now because I've got so much other work to do, and she does need some more work before she comes out, and she needs a professional detailing before she comes back out in the world again. Right now, there's some dirt underneath the cover. And I got some new parts for the Mach 1 too, to make her even more original and more fabulous than she is. So we may be doing that work, maybe not taking her, but we will be there at the show. It benefits the Bagley Middle School football team, where we're trying to get enough money for them to be able to get their uniforms and all have matching uniforms. Now, Time to Shine and St. Jude Children's shows are at the same weekend on the 17th of August this year. We will definitely be at the St. Jude Children's fundraising show, which is a huge and wonderful show, and it's to benefit a great cause for those children at St. Jude's. Roy Davis is the one putting it on. Yeah, that'd be fine. That is 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Now, enough with those announcements. I know you guys want to get to trivia, and I want to get to it too. We got some great NASCAR trivia, and I want to see who all's in the chat right now. Oh man, what a turnout. Lots of great people here. You guys are awesome. Look at all the awesome hashtag insane friends here. We have Camaro Time. Not only does he have the great coverage of the car scene in North Carolina, but he is our king of editing. And thank you so much for all those videos you have put out. Help me with my editing. We are improving the videos right here on SaneAuto, mainly due to the help of Camaro Time and his editing skill and his training, and the fact that he convinced me to switch over to the DaVinci software, which is far superior to the Windows Movie Maker I was using. And I hope that my editing has improved a great deal, and I've made better videos for you guys because of that. Demon Durango is here. Budget and Leggett Garage. Great to see you, man. I'm improving my soldering skills because of Budget and Leggett Garage. Recently, he has been putting some stuff up, and it's great stuff. You should go see it. Demon Durango, good to see you here, man. Bubbzification is here. What's up? Bubs is as I said, he's on the calendar at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. And all you guys that are on the calendar, please, please, please help raise up everybody else that's on the calendar with some shout outs for all the guys on the calendar and what time they're on the calendar. If you're having trouble remembering, it is always on the SaneAuto Facebook page. I've got it pinned to the top so that it's real easy to find out who is on, what their channel name is, what time they're on, all that good stuff. It's right there. If you need any more help with it, private message me on Facebook. I will send you I'll copy and paste you a list of everybody that's on the calendar. We need to get everybody that's on this calendar, just get their lives just covered up with lives. And if you're on the calendar, I'm speaking about you. We want to cover your lives up with people in the chat and get your channels growing. Drop, welcome to the chat. Great to see new faces here. Everybody support each other too while we're at it. And if you haven't seen each other for a while, make sure after the live you go drop by each other's channels and give some watch time and some views and stuff. Good to see all our. Now, I can't read everything on the chats because I'm behind. I'm sorry. But I did notice Camaro Time mentioning a new Carroll Shelby movie. Yeah, that sounds very interesting. I cannot wait. That's going to be one I'm going to have to buy and put in my DVD and Blu-ray collection because I know I'm going to want to watch that more than one time. Gregory Salvatore, hey, all right. He is on right after we are. Of course, if you were here at the beginning of the live, you saw me shouting that out. Okay, our first trivia. Well, let's go over some. We had some great winners last week. We had 6 questions. We're only have 4 this week, but we had 6, and we're only going to have 4 because I don't want to get as close to running into Gregory's time as we did last week. Plus, I got some cooking going on in there, so I'm selfishly wanting to get to my food. Hey, I'll admit it. You know, I'm a food addict. I'm especially when it comes to Carol's cooking. I mean, she really knows how to cook. She knew how to cook really well before she spent 17 years in Peru. And so you can imagine somebody that already knew how to cook really well and just spend 17 years in Peru and learning Peruvian cooking and stuff, and then come back to the United States with all that extra knowledge. It's just, I'm well blessed. I've got a lot of other things to be thankful for, but you know, when I'm doing my thankfulness exercises each day to recenter my mind and remember just how well off I am and how great I've got it, that's one of the things too that I can just add to my unfair advantage in life right now, is that I get to eat authentic Peruvian cooking, somebody that knows what they're doing. Now, our winners last week were Reviewing Plane and More RPM, Matt MPG, Buster Tim, Uzo Lou's Garage, Camaro Time, and Bottle Caps. Congratulations to all you guys for being smarter than the average bear and knowing things about NASCAR everywhere. We have gotten to the point where we are up to 1984. We went through the late 70s and the early 80s last week, and a whole bunch of stuff with Cale Yarbrough, Donnie Allison, Richard Petty, a bunch of stuff that was going on in Florida and North Carolina. And so now we are to the point where we are up to 1984. And first question is, who won a record 200th win in the Firecracker 400 at Daytona? Kathy Durbin, welcome to the chat. Thank you for the love and the visit. Camaro Time says Petty. Yes, ding, 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 ding. You are right. Camaro Time. It was Richard Petty in 1984. And that is where our NASCAR trivia starts tonight. It starts in 1984 with Richard Petty winning his 200th win in the Firecracker 400 at Daytona. And you remember last weekend we were talking about they're not going to have that big 4th of July race anymore. That was the end of it. The last time they were ever going to have it was last weekend. So an end of an era with the 4th of July race. So I don't know what they're going to do in the future, but we're not going to have that like we did last weekend anymore. That was the last of it. That was the end of it last weekend. So some more NASCAR history was just made last weekend with the end of our 4th of July race. It's just not going to happen anymore. Hold on a second while I close out some of these tabs. Start over again because I need these tabs closed. That's how I keep up with who won, because I'm not so smart that I can keep up with all of the names of the winners. I cheat by leaving the tabs open when I put you on screen share, give you 2 minutes of screen share for every win. Well, sometimes 2 plus, but at least 2 minutes of screen share for every win. And then I leave that tab open, and then I know who I screen shared by which tab I left open. Let's see here. Oh, I got to get my phone out and watch the chat because I can't screen share and watch the chat at the same time. Let's get that open. Okay, Google, YouTube. Okay, Google. See, I'm talking to my phone. I'm live. You can hear me. Okay, Google. Okay, Google, quit making me look like an idiot. Oh, it's going to look up something weird now. You ever have that thing where you're working on a car or something and your phone or your tablet's nearby and something happens and the blood starts squirting out and a cuss word comes out, and then the tablet or the phone starts searching through all kinds of hinky stuff, and you hear the Cortana or the Google over there talking some weird stuff you wouldn't want your children to hear, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you're trying to make it stop. And from then on, you get a bunch of sketchy emails for about a month. Okay, we have Camaro Times channel here, and you can not only find like the Monroe, North Carolina cruise in, lots of good stuff on the car scene in North Carolina, but you can also find good product reviews, a lot of his extensive knowledge on editing and stuff, because he's made several videos on letting us know how to edit our videos better, which is, if there was only 4 or 5 things that you could do to make your channel grow better, I would say that better editing, just making your videos better, would have to be right up there, one of the, if not the most important thing, at least one of the top 2 or top 3 things that you can do to make your channel grow. Just make your videos better, and editing can really do that. Of course, you can only edit so much out of your videography. You've got to do good videography too. Of course, Camaro Time knows a lot about that as well, because he's got a lot of experience in photography, and a lot of that translates to videography. And I don't know how much experience he has in videography, but we all have a lot more experience in videography now than we ever did for a while. Like I said, I can't see the chat yet. I'm trying to do it on my phone. Okay, finally got y'all guys pulled up on my phone here. I don't know what all I missed. Okay, finally got y'all guys pulled up on my phone. See, they're talking to myself again. Okay, Camaro Time says none in videography. Yeah, you do. You got some in videography. We all do now. We all got some in videography because we've been doing it for a while. I know mine is pretty darn amateurish, but it's experience nonetheless, even if it's bad experience. And you definitely got more than I do. Let's see what we got here. Our second question tonight. I'm sorry, I'm kind of late in giving out the second question, aren't I? I was messing with my phone, trying to get the chat up. Now, it was 1992. Picture this, guys. Listen closely, because this is an exciting one. This is probably the best question tonight. It was 1992. It's Richard Petty's last race. The King is on his last race. It's Jeff Gordon's NASCAR premiere. It's his first race in a NASCAR premiere series competition, that is. There are 5 drivers eligible to win this title, including Bill Elliott. He's in the running too. You got greats like Richard Petty, Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, and a couple others. Who won this epic battle on the track? That is the question. Who won this epic battle on the track? Bunch of greats. 1992 last race for Richard Petty. Sounds like a very good what am I trying to say? What's the word I'm looking for? A very good ending scene for a Hollywood movie. Yeah, Matt MPG filmed his first wedding last Saturday. And what'd you say? It was around $500, which is great. I mean, you are well on your way. That makes you pro. I mean, you're making money at it. And see, that's another thing about YouTube. If you want to make money at YouTube and stuff, that's one of the ways to do it, is to leverage your photography and videography in, you know, real world jobs like that. And then string some of those photos together into a really nice video for those people, put it on your YouTube channel, and that could trigger more jobs. Gregory Salvatore says it was Elliott. Surprisingly, it was not. The championship went to someone else. He got 10 more points than Elliott to win the championship. Yeah, Camaro Time says he won't do the weddings outside of just friends. Don't know why that is, because I've never done any wedding shoots and stuff like that. I don't feel like I'm good enough at my photography to charge for the pictures. Now, I'll charge for if somebody wants to do a feature video on their car, because I know I can make the car. I can do a video on a car with a combination of videography and photography. I can take an already good looking car and stuff and make it look just fabulous in a video and put that up on my channel and get a bunch of eyeballs on it. So if somebody wants me to do that, and I feel comfortable charging for that. But as far as going around and And I kudos to you guys that can do that, that can be in the right spot with all the people moving around and doing all the things and get the lighting just right so quickly. I mean, people are moving around a lot, and it's hard to get some of those really good shots. And the pressure's really high because they're only going to do that wetting once. And with me, if I'm doing a car, I mean, I can take my time and go around. If I don't get a shot, I come back and pick it up again, stuff like that. I mean, I think it's probably a lot harder to do a wetting and stuff like that. I give you guys another hint. All the names I mentioned, the Richard Petty, Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, they were not the ones that won this competition. It was one of the other two guys that I did not mention their name. Won by 10 points. And Bill Elliott came in second place. Yes, Camaro time. You have it right. Pete, you're just so smart about so many things. Or you're just really fast at Google. I don't know which one. Now, I personally did not get to see that race, that last race of that series competition live. But I bet that was really exciting for us. Yes, Gregory, you are right. Ding, 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 ding. It was Alan Kulwicki. Alan Kulwicki. And there was something that he did in that race. He got an extra 5 bonus points. I don't understand all that. You know, I'm not an expert. So I don't understand all that. I'm still learning. And as I'm learning, there's more and more races, so I'll never know everything. They'll never get caught up. But yeah, he somehow got an extra 5 bonus points. So instead of winning by 5 points over Elliott, he won by 10 points over Elliott. And if you're just getting here and you didn't hear me shouting it out before about everybody on the hashtag Insane Friends live calendar and stuff, it's Gregory Salvatore, our winner right now. It's not only got a great channel, and he's got the car scene in, oh, forgive me. We've got so many members now, I'm starting to get people mixed up where they're at. I'm thinking Pennsylvania. Is it Pennsylvania? Where it's filming the car scene up there? But he's got a cool Camaro named Hot Wheels. It's the name of his Camaro, and it'll talk to you. It'll tell you its name. It's Hot Wheels. It is a talking Camaro. Okay, Drop says he got to see Bobby Unser race and got to meet him. No, I did not know Richard Petty dragged race for a year. I did not know that. You're just a wealth of information, Camaro Time. And he drove a Ford for a year. Yeah, I did know that. He had a Torino, didn't he? A Torino or a Gran Torino? I kind of remember what the car looked like. I had a sweet spot for a Torino. There was a lot of them around when I was first starting to be able to legally own a car and legally drive. Not that I wasn't driving before that, but we just won't talk about that. And there was, at that time, there were still some really good early 70s Torinos and stuff that were available at very good prices. And so that was one of the cars to really have. And of course, they had several reasons of being popular at the time. Not only were they cool cars, but there was that Starsky and Hutch appeal, because they had that 74 Torino that they drove around. And yes, Pennsylvania. Awesome. So, car scene in Pennsylvania. Oh, look, you can see Matt MPG on some of his thumbnails. Some of Gregory's thumbnails. But yeah, oh, look at the drag racing. Got the drag racing up there now. Okay. Yep, and his partner in crime there, Felicia Ann. She's on there too. And like I said earlier, they will be live at 9 o'clock, right after we are. Yeah, you don't want to let them burn anything. Drop. Yeah, you just had recently some videos on putting some more power into the Hot Wheels, didn't you? Oh yeah, I see it now. I see the thumbnails now with the intake. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes and how that turns out on the track when you get back to the track. Ooh, insane car laws tonight. Well, I will be doing my own video on insane car law. I do not want to give it away right now, but be looking for that. It will either be a special video that will probably not coincide with my regular Tuesday at 1 o'clock video and my Thursday at 1 o'clock video. I will probably not do that on a Sane Sunday live because I've been having pretty good luck here with the trivia questions. So I will probably do a special live or just a special premiere video sometime this week on a particularly completely insane law that affects us all. Maybe not right now where you live, but it's coming because, you know, once you get that crack in the dam and people put up with it and they don't, and there's no outcry, then the wrong people get emboldened and it starts to spread. And this is something we definitely do not want to spread because everybody that gets their hands dirty is going to be outraged by what's going on. So I will definitely be making a video about that and trying to raise some awareness over that. And you're all going to want to know about it. And you're probably all going to want to say something about it too in the chat when I make that video. So now that I've said something about it, I'm definitely going to be held accountable. I'm going to have to do that this week. I will try to get it done and ready by Wednesday because I do the Wednesday night live on the Sane Enterprises channel. I can do that special video on a completely insane law affecting us car guys. And you will be amazed when you find out what it is. It's just bonkers, totally bonkers. So our next question is, third question. Now we're up to 1994. Who wins? This is a pretty simple one. Who wins the first Brickyard 400? Oh, Camaro time. You're giving it away. That is exactly what my video is going to be about. It's going to be about that law in California, about working on your own car. That is some crazy, crazy stuff. I even got on the government website to confirm because it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I didn't even think it was real. I thought maybe it was just hyped up or hearsay, but it's true. They actually did it. They literally made us, or anybody that's there where that law is in effect, that's like us. Every one of us, if we were there right now, is a criminal. Literally. Just from working on your own car. It's exactly right. It's completely insane. Yeah, Gregory, but that's not how they work. They're sneaking it in there. They're sneaking it in there. They loosely enforcing things right now. Try to get everybody used to it and let it spread. Then they'll come for you after they've come for a lot of others. But that's just, it's frightening. It's frightening and completely insane. I will be revealing the exact number of the law, the website where you can find it and confirm that it's real and look at it for yourself on the government website. I'll put the link in my video description. I may even screen share the thing because it's so hard to believe that it's actually real. They really did it. They really got something like that passed. Man. Yeah, they were just testing you out, weren't they, Gregory Salvatore? That's the way they start. They start with making something silly and then test you out and see if you'll back down. And if they get enough people backing down, they get more and more bold about it. 1994, who wins the first Brickyard 400? Who wins the first Brickyard 400? I don't know what they're doing in Illinois, Gregory. What are they doing in Illinois? Sounds like it's spreading already, maybe. What they say about one bad apple. And apparently, we've got some bad apple legislators that are just going nuts. They have lost their minds. Okay, you have to watch tonight. I do not blame you. I'm holding back some too. They're gonna have to watch my video on the other stuff. There's your growth hack right there. You got to do that. And we're all tempted to just give up all the information at the beginning. You can't do that. You want your channel to grow. You've got to have some teasers out there. Third question, anybody care to guess? 1994, who wins the first Brickyard 400? I'll give you another hint. We have mentioned his name earlier tonight in the other questions. He is one of the guys that was mentioned, one of the greats in NASCAR. Very well-known name in NASCAR. When you hear the answer, you're going to be like, man, I knew that. That's good, Gregory. Gregory says Mario Andretti in a surprising one-time NASCAR race. Good stuff. Good stuff. Sounds like it's going to be an exciting show on Gregory Salvatore's tonight on his live. Oh, and another call out to all our people that participate in our hashtag Insane Friends live. Remember, let's try to shout each other's lives out as much as possible, at least once a show, and drive more traffic to everybody's live. We've got so many people participate, 10 channels participating. If we could get just one shout out for everybody else on the lives, like I do at the beginning of the show, doesn't have to be at the beginning, it could be anytime during your show for all the other participants. Just imagine that could be like 100 shout outs a week from everybody. Everybody in the live would be getting 10 shout outs for their one shout out. We already get more than we give just by cooperating like this. I know some of our great people in the hashtag Insane Friends even have a list of all our lives in the description of their videos, which also helps everyone participating in the lives. Remember the answer to the question number 3, who wins the first Brickyard 400? His name was mentioned in the other question. At least one of the other questions, his name was mentioned. The very first Brickyard 400. If you can't, you can always Google. Okay, if nobody gets that one, I guess I'll just give that one away and move on to the next question, because I'm trying to make these easier, guys. Really, I am. But I still run into a hard one every once in a while. Apologize for that. Gregory Salvatore says he drove a paint car. I'm going to give it away. It was Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon. He was battling it out with Richard Petty and Bill Elliott and Alan Colwicky just 2 years before that. And then he wins the first Brickyard 400. Welcome back, Matt MPG. We're about to move on to the fourth question. Our third question was, in 1994, who wins the first Brickyard 400? And that was Jeff Gordon. Now our fourth and final question. It is October 1994. October of 1994. Some of you people might already know this just because it's October of 1994. Something very special happened in NASCAR history. Big event in NASCAR history. Who, in October of 1994, finally matched Richard Petty's record of 7 NASCAR championship wins? Tell me that wasn't significant. Richard Petty's record of 7 NASCAR championship wins, which he set, I believe, was in 1979, 1978, 1979. So that record had stood 15 years. At least 15 years, Richard Petty held the record of 7, and it still stood because he just matched it. He didn't beat it. He matched it. This guy matched a record 7 championship wins. Who was this legendary NASCAR racer that joined the likes of Richard Petty with 7 wins? Anybody care to guess? While we're waiting for an answer for that 4th and final question, does anybody know who won last weekend's race? The last 4th of July race, that's going to be history. It's not NASCAR history yet, because, well, it is actually. It's just not ancient history like we're going over. Did anybody see who won last weekend's race? And who is that? Go ahead and give it away. It being that it was the last 4th of July race we'll ever see, unless they start doing it again. But they're saying that's over. They're saying they're not doing that 4th of July race anymore. Get some NASCAR screen share up here. There we go. Daytona last weekend. Now who's that? Who drives the number 8? Hey, Camaro Time's back. Our last question was, who matched Richard Petty's record of 7 NASCAR championship wins on October 1994? That is our official final question. Now, this is not part of the, this next question is not part of the contest or to get any screen share or anything. It's just a question between us guys, you know. Who won last weekend? Who won the 4th of July race? Does anybody know who won the 4th of July race? The final 4th of July race in Florida last weekend. Maritime says Justin Haley. Bottle Cap says Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt, you are right, Bottle Caps. That is our trivia question, our final trivia question for the night. It was Dale Earnhardt. He joined the likes of Richard Petty with a record 7 NASCAR championship wins on October of 1994. He was at Rockingham, North Carolina, right there in Camaro Time's neck of the woods. And we just heard from Camaro Time that last weekend's race, thank you so much, Camaro Time, for letting us know, that Justin Haley won the very last 4th of July race in Florida We'll have some wet cars there. Okay, where were we at here? Maritime, Gregory, Salvatore. I have a NASCAR trivia. That's me. Bottle caps is our winner. Oh, now I'm going to be lagging. There we go.
What question you want, sweetie cutie?
Our last question was on October 1994. Who matches Richard Petty's record of 7 NASCAR championship wins? And Bottle Caps got it right. He's the winner. It was Dale Earnhardt.
Are you on the last question?
That is the last question. And Bottle Caps already won it. He got it. We're going to screen share on his channel right now.
Okay. Oh, vegetables almost done for the dinner.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon got close. Jeff Gordon was and he was the answer to our third question, because in 1994, he won the first Brickyard 400. Jeff Gordon did. And that was earlier in 1994, the same year. And then that same year, just a few months later, Dale Earnhardt ended up being the one that matched Richard Petty's record. And see, Jeff Gordon was involved in the second question, which was just epic NASCAR stuff, because Richard Petty was on his last race, and Jeff Gordon was in the first NASCAR Premier Series competition. That was his first. So Jeff Gordon was coming in, Richard Petty was going out, and then there were 3 other just very competent drivers, including Bill Elliott, battling for that championship. And Alan Kulwicki won it by 10 points, just above Bill Elliott. And Jeff Gordon was really becoming a household name at the time. And that was in 1992. And only 2 years later, I mean, they were saying he was going to match Richard Petty's record, and then Dale Earnhardt did it. A lot of interesting stuff was going on in NASCAR at the time. Bottle Caps! Bottle Caps has been doing a lot of really cool editing stuff too on his videos. And amongst the very creative storytelling videos he does, he also does some car stuff as well. And so he's in a island on the west coast of Canada, above where Washington is, above where Washington State, U.S. is, called Texada Island. So if you want to see what goes on in that part of the country, not just the car scene, but the wildlife, the beautiful island, you can see he's riding the Harley, all that kind of stuff. Oops, getting a little racy there. Got to be careful. Trying to keep my channel PG here. I'll have to look at that later. Woo. Check out Bottle Caps' channel. I guarantee you're going to like it. Watch this thing on the strawberries too. Talk about some storytelling. Oh, you were watching that race, Camaro time? I was building a transmission, and then I heard on the radio. And then I saw replays on the news. When all that happened. Bottle caps. I went to snap on that truck tour cranks. Yeah, yeah, we both do. Yeah, we can dream, can't we? We can dream, bottle caps. Well, that's mostly true, bottle caps. About when craps goes down, you can always remember what you were doing that day. But I've seen so much crap at this point and lived through so much crap. I can't remember all of it anymore. But there are certain things I do remember. I remember, you know, the Twin Towers incident. We were building transmissions that day too, and we had this little black and white TV with antennas on it that we had in the shop, and it had a little DVD player on it because sometimes we'd pop those. Back then, you had to buy these elaborate how-to videos, training videos on the new transmissions that came out. We'd get them at the seminars. We go to the seminars every year to get up on the new stuff, and we'd buy the DVDs too, and we'd take them back to the shop with us. And if we forgot something or whatever, we'd look through the workbook or watch the DVD. And we had that little TV for that. And they were saying something about something going on in New York on the radio, and we turned on the TV, and when the second plane hit, myself and my whole crew were already huddled around the TV watching when they showed live coverage of that second plane hitting the towers. I also remember exactly where I was in Chattanooga. Was I not sharing my screen with the with bottle caps on it this whole time? Can y'all see bottle caps channel on the screen? I also remember where I was at in Chattanooga when that Muslim guy was going around murdering people, because we trained in some of the same dojangs in jiu-jitsu, that guy. And my son had gone to the same college that he was wrestling for. And I was there with my little stepson, and because of the gun law, the new gun laws, which terrorism was an excuse for to cramp down on the new gun laws, my weapon was still in the car because I was in the courthouse. And that guy was going around murdering people in government buildings. And so it was that morning, literally while he was murdering people, while that Muslim guy was murdering people. And they dismissed all the cases. And I was there for the stupidest reason. Some idiot had thrown a mattress out into the parking lot of my garage, my shop there in Chattanooga. And because I called the city and complained about this mattress being out in front of my garage and told them they needed to do something about people dumping stuff in the neighborhood, instead of doing something about people dumping stuff in the neighborhood, their answer to that, to shut me up, was to cite me to court for having garbage on my property. So there I was to answer for having garbage that I complained about being dumped on my property, on my property. And this idiot was going around murdering our men in uniform, unarmed, because they were not allowed to. You know, our servicemen, since 1992 or 1993, there was a new gun law enacted then that does not allow our servicemen to carry arms on U.S. soil. So they were disarmed and completely helpless against this Muslim who's going around shooting them. And then baffles me that the same idiots that caused that situation where nobody was armed, including myself, my gun was still in the car, even though I had a legal carry permit and everything. I couldn't carry it in there because of more stupid gun laws. All of us were completely disarmed, and he was going around murdering people. And there I was with a 9-year-old child, no way to protect him. Luckily, the wonderful men in blue there and somebody else who was in charge made the decision to just dismiss all the cases that day and usher everybody out in case he showed up there to murder all of us. And they got us all out of there. They wouldn't tell us why, but they got us all out of there. And of course, as soon as I was in the car, I was armed again. And we're headed back to the shop. And there they were on the radio talking about all the people that he was murdering and, you know, what the Chattanooga police were doing. And fortunately, you know, the Chattanooga police got there to the last place where he was murdering a whole bunch of our Navy guys, and they put a stop to it. And one thing for everybody that wants to outlaw all the guns, you know, the thing that stopped that was a man with a gun. And that's the only thing that's going to stop that is another man with a gun, a good man with a gun. And the only men that these crazy gun laws disarm are the good men, because we care about laws and we care about obeying the laws. And so we're going to be disarmed. But the guys that don't care about laws aren't going to obey those laws, and they're going to kill us. So that is my one and only rant about laws and anything political and stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to resist saying anything else about that. But I was there, you know, and I know that now this video will probably be demonetized because I said the word Muslim like 3 or 4 times. And we're not allowed to say anything about them, even if it's true and they're completely in the wrong. They're very protected, and that's wrong. Freedom of speech should come first. And it doesn't. But that's all the negativity you'll get from me. Moving on, back to something nice. Oh, bottle caps. Thank you for breaking the tension. Bottle cap says, here in Canada, I'm not even allowed to look at a slingshot. That's awful. That's awful. Well, you'll have to throw sharpened bottle caps at them. That's what I say. Sharpen some bottle caps and work on your throwing arm. And throw it right in their eye. They come at you with a gun, throw a sharpened bottle cap in their eye. Well, I would like to elaborate on that last, but I'll leave that up to you guys, because I just promised that that was the last of my political and my other stuff revealing things, and I want to stop before anybody. I will have to say one last thing on that. that everybody that hears me say anything like, and this is why I don't like to say that, because people like to put me in a box. I'm either conservative or liberal or Republican or Democrat or something like that. And I'll tell you, I'm fiercely independent. I'm none of those things, and I'm all of those things. I agree with a lot of things, and I disagree with a lot of things. And I'm hanging on to my independence. And if somebody wants my vote, they're going to have to earn it. I'm not going to blindly follow some party line. So that's all I'm going to reveal about that. But I think that the fact that I get my hands dirty does reveal some of my agreements and disagreements. This is, well, the worst cooking instruction I've ever had. Oh, and I am running long on time here, and we have had, did bottle caps ever get to be screen shared? Because my thing is still sitting here saying to click the share, but if I click it, it doesn't do it because that part of my computer is locked up again, like it did 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I don't know if I'm screen sharing Bottle Cap's channel or not. Did he ever get any screen share time? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bottle Caps. I didn't get to put you up on the screen. I guess I was on the screen the whole time, wasn't I? Okay. Maybe next time, because that part of the Google Chrome and the thing is apparently locked up right now because I can't hit there. I hit the cancel and it canceled. Maybe let me try that again then. This time let's do application window and hit share there. And there, boom, I made it work. All right. Bottle Caps right here. Bottle Caps channel. Check this out. As I was saying before, when I thought I had him on screen share, you got some great videos here of the Texada Island in Canada, is on the West Coast. And everybody's ears watching your channel anyway. Yes, they do. But yeah, check out one of the most, this one right here, the strawberries video. Tell me that's not very artistic and tells a great story. The great example of storytelling in your videos and a lot of cool magical editing stuff like that. And it's got several videos like that too. Does that. Uses a mix of great videography and editing and storytelling. And it may not be a car thing, but it's still really cool. You know, we don't all have to have car videos, but he's got car videos too, and some repair videos. And then here's one with the motorcycle video and stuff. And oops, I'm getting into the racy stuff again. It is, isn't it? Quote the Raven nevermore. And Drops has got over 150 videos on everything. So welcome to the hashtag Insane Friends, Drop. Keep showing up here and brush up on your NASCAR or brush up on your Google skills. And maybe you can win some screen share next week, and we can take a look at your channel and your thumbnails and stuff. I'm not allowed, well, it's risky now. We used to sometimes show a little bit of other people's videos and stuff with their permission, of course. But we got a notification from Google a few shows ago that they were going to kick us out of Google Hangouts if we kept stealing people's quote, stealing people's content, which of course we were not doing. We were, you know, helping grow other people's channels by, sharing their stuff while they were right there in the chat, and showcasing their channel and stuff. But the Google algorithm doesn't know the difference. It's in its infancy, and they're really just trying to protect people from getting their content stolen. We understand that. We understand that there are other people that actually do steal people's content and stuff like that, and the Google algorithm just can't tell the difference. It just doesn't know whether you're sharing somebody's channel and trying to help them grow their channel, or if you're actually stealing their content. All the Google algorithm knows is that your content, somebody else's content, is showing up on your live, and then it automatically assumes, which we all know as humans makes an ASS of us all. Assuming is not a good thing. And yeah, but you can't. That's just it. You can't. And because now there's been so much stealing of other people's stuff, the Google algorithm is prowling around, and even if you share somebody's stuff, they may think that you don't have permission, and then you have to prove that you have permission, and that's just too much trouble. But I appreciate the offer, because we used to do it that way. I mean, we used to do it that way too. Here in the hashtag Insane Friends, we used to do it the same way. And then we almost got in trouble for it, so we just try not to do anything that YouTube doesn't want us to do, anything that could be considered violation of terms of service. And I encourage you all to, yeah, just be careful about anything like that that's going to potentially get you any strikes on your channel or anything like that. I mean, that's one thing you really don't want. You don't want any copyright strikes, because you only get 3, and you know, they may not even be a real copyright infringement, and that would be even worse. That's going to make you feel even worse if you're sharing friend stuff and you're just trying to help other people grow, and then you end up losing your channel because of that. That's just going to be awful. That's going to make you lose sleep. So yeah, well, you know, maybe more people should do that. You know, if it does something constructive and it works and it helps get a positive change in YouTube. And I know YouTube's watching this and listening to everything we say, but hey, you know, right is right, wrong is wrong. And if they're doing it for the right reasons and it causes a positive change, then maybe it should. Maybe it should. I mean, as long as they're not doing something like that other girl did, it was horrible and terribly illegal. And that was another Muslim that did that. And I don't even want to say what she did. We all know what she did. And it was terribly wrong. And we know better than to do that. But something about what they're reading and living by makes them think that they are allowed to do that, and that we're not allowed to even say anything about it when they do. So, I mean, that's just totally wrong. And YouTube agrees with them that we're not allowed to say anything about what they do, even after she did that to people at YouTube. And they're still like protecting. And I think they're doing it out of fear. I think they're just being a bunch of cowards. I think some of the people in higher up in YouTube are really just being a bunch of cowards, and they're afraid. The terrorism is working on them. They're being terrorized, and they just are afraid to to not only afraid to exercise their freedom of speech, but afraid to allow us to exercise our freedom of speech.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I got to go, guys. It is not only really nice food ready for me, but I'm in danger of getting into Gregory Salvatore's time, and I don't want to do that. That is one thing that differentiates our calendar from, there's not many other live calendars like the hashtag Insane Friends, but the ones there are. And one of the things that differentiates us is we do not live over top of other people's times. We live in cooperation, not in competition, and we don't step on each other's time zones. And so check out any of these people live. And guys, remember, if you're on the calendar, shout out all the other people on the calendar. And you can find the calendar on the SaneAuto Facebook page. And I promise you I won't have any of my political rant or anything like I did tonight on there. It's not there. It's just car stuff. SaneAuto Facebook page, and trying to get more traffic to the children's charity and the veteran charity car shows. And, you know, when those events, event coordinators are allowed to put their events on that page, and pinned to the top is the hashtag Insane Friends live calendar, so you can see who's live and when. And I thank you all so very much for coming to our live and participating in our NASCAR trivia questions. It's been a lot of fun. It's getting more and more fun every week with you guys hanging out with us and talking NASCAR and stuff. I'm sorry I said a couple of things, touched on a couple of things that were negative that I guess really needed to be touched on, but we won't do that anymore. We'll just stay positive and we'll stay car stuff. And we'll wish you all a great weekend. Until the next video, get off the couch and get dirty.